Hey guys, it's the 19th of May and this is just my monthly sobriety video. I'm now officially over 7 months sober, which is absolutely fantastic. Well chuffed. Um, at the end of my last video, the 6 month video, I was talking about the unhealthy eating I was going through, the binge eating with chocolate. It was only chocolate. Um, that carried on for another week, and I've narrowed it down. And probably about 3 weeks ago, I kind of finally got control of it again and processed it and come to terms with what I was doing and how silly it was. And so anyway, I've stopped at, and I feel much better for it. Um, for the last 3 weeks, that's initially completely gone away. Got myself onto a much more sort of healthier eating plan again, as I had before that. Um, the exercise is still almost zero. I do a few things on the odd weekend, but because I'm sober, the one thing I have found, and even when I'm eating, I'm not eating the healthiest I could be. The weight doesn't fly on. The body maintains where it's at a lot better. So in that last video, I talked about how I'd lost, I can't remember what it was. I'd lost about 47 pounds on this journey, and when the bad eating started, over a period of about 6 to 8 weeks, I'd put on 7.5 pounds, which it is a lot, half a stone. Don't get me wrong, but it went on after, and given the amount of calories I was taking in as well, I would have expected that to be over a stone or 14 pounds in your money. Um, so I was right, and the fitness doesn't fall away either, like it used to do when I was drinking. So even though I've not been doing any fitness, I was able in this last month gone. I've gone on a couple of hikes, and one of them was just short 7 mile. So that's fantastic. I can just go on a 7 mile hike, and I'm not fatigued after or anything. The fitness is still there, which is really good. I didn't expect that. I thought when I'd had a couple of months off of the exercise, literally 3 months off the exercise, really. It's just been an odd workout here and there, where I used to try, do at least 3 workouts a week, if not more. So that's a real positive. That means my body's maintaining the new me, and I love the thought of that. That's excellent. So as I say, I've got the eating under control now from me eating the crappy chocolates and whatever. And I just weighed myself today. I weigh myself every Friday, and obviously I've got weight to come off, as you can see. So I got back up to 17 stone with this 7.5 pounds off. So my lowest, I got down to 16 stone, 6.5, and that's the lightest I've been in a long time. But I really wanted to get in the 15 stones because that will literally be the lightest I've been since I was in early 20s. So I had hoped to do that on my 6 months, but there's other things that happen on these journeys. So that's not. But as I say, I've taken a bit of control of it now, and I've lost 4 pounds now of that 7.5. So I'm only 3.5 pounds off where I was. So I'm going to work hard now, and obviously I'm going to try and put into words some of the things I'm going through on my journey. First thing is about the drink. I still have conversations with people who, when I have these little brain farts, they actually talk about me picking the drink up again, and it's starting to piss me off, if I'm honest. Pardon me, French, because I say this all the time as well. As of today, right now, I have never been further away from a drink in my life. I consider myself as sober as you can get. Now, I'm only talking about alcohol, lots of other little brain farts going around, but I am as sober as you can get. I never think about drinking. I don't romanticize about it. I have put that one to bed. Drink has gone. Drink can never come back because it took me so long to get off of it, so many relapses, that I now 100% understand what happens when I pick that drink up. So it makes it so easy. So I just want you all to know, drink has gone for me. No need to worry about that. I can also say that about the weed, the pot smoking, which I didn't do, never hardly smoked in my life. I had an odd joint, in the space of I'm 43 years old, I've probably had 7 puffs joints or whatever, not full ones, but you know what I mean, in company in that whole lifetime. So, and it never did anything for me. I was always drinking, I was always drunk and pissed when I was doing it. But as on one of my videos at 3 month stage or whatever, I decided to try it, take the edge off, I don't know, whatever. And the addictiveness, the addictive tendencies just came straight back, and I was like fucking Cheech and Chong, you know, and I was just trying. It was ridiculous. It was just filling that black hole, absolutely. So I was able to put that one to bed. That was over a period of 3 days when I was about 3 months in. So sort of been there, done that. Don't need to go back to it now because I know exactly what happens. So that was basically another one ticked off. Then food came along. I class it as all the same. They're all just to fill the black hole, the void, nothing else. So as I said, the chocolate came along, 2 massive bars, dark and milk chocolate every night for about 2 or 3 week period. Absolutely mind blowing. I think I was doing 3,000 calories in chocolate every day, just chocolate. Fucking hell. Now I want to say, been there, done that, ticked a box, put that one to bed. I'm not as confident about that one yet because obviously we have to eat every day. We all like us food now and again, and I know my eating does go into like swings and roundabouts. So I fully understand that I can't just binge and gorge on chocolate. It does me no good. I get headaches. It makes me feel shit with these large quantities. I mean, and bear in mind, I never ate chocolate up until literally 7 months ago. You know, it was a very odd bar of chocolate in my lifetime. So I'm kind of there with that. I kind of know that if I'm going to eat a big bar of chocolate, it's the wrong thing to do. I don't need to do it because it's not something I used to do. I don't need to do it. So that one's almost put to bed. So I'm going to come back onto my latest brain fart, but I'll just talk about my month now. So this, as I said, the last 4 weeks have been superb. So I'm going to kind of stop talking about the drink side of it now because I'm kind of having to think about it and make stuff up to tell you, which is absolutely fantastic because that's progress right there. You know, I posted on the group and Steph was the same. We didn't really think about, well, you know when your sobriety date's coming up, obviously, but it was you know, it wasn't thinking about it or counting down to it. I got to, I think it was the 16th, that was it, and I just like, bloody hell, I'm 7 months tomorrow, and it was just, that was it, you know. And obviously it's a great feeling or whatever, but it's gone. It doesn't matter, you know. The next, I'm not counting down the days till I get to 8 months and 9, and even to the big 12 month mark. Not bothered. It's going to happen, you know. And that's fantastic. That's the biggest positive out of it all. So my mood has been absolutely awesome, as it was in the previous month. I'd say the once a week brain farts that I used to have, that used to last for 2 or 3 days, perhaps not once a week, but I'd have these brain farts and mood swings that would last 3 or 4 days, and you know, it'd be like I've been Steph nicknamed it smoking my meth pipe, you know, and it was just ridiculous. That, as I really haven't had that for about 2 months. So I kind of think I'm controlling that as well. And it's not very hard to control because I feel it coming and stuff, and I just switch it off. It's great. It's really manageable. Everything's manageable without the booze, and this is particularly manageable, which is fantastic. So mood's been absolutely superb, not up and down at all. Generally happy with myself. Works, I had some issues with work because of that last brain fart where I was really struggling and I was going to leave and whatever. That was my last one. You know, that went away quite quickly. Work had been great. I took some days off. I took some half-day holidays here and there. Doing a bit of mindfulness. Supposed to be doing it every day. I'm not. But I'm going to continue to do it when I remember to do it. Whether it's helped or not, I don't know, but it certainly doesn't hurt. So just absolutely just another stonking good month, which is awesome. There's obviously the life stuff in between, but I'm getting my life stuff too mixed up. So I'm getting me alcoholism head too mixed up with general life stuff. You know, normal people who haven't been what I've been through, and I haven't been through what I've been, that was fucking dramatic. I just mean who were an alcoholic. You know, they have bad days. You know, they wake up and they're in a shit mood. You know, it's normal. But I was processing everything because of my alcoholism, and it's not. You know, it's just part of life, and you just got to dig yourself out of those moods and crack on. So yeah, 7 months in, absolutely stonking. It's life has never been better. So now for the negative. I'll try putting this into words, but it's a bit bizarre. So I last smoked 15 years ago, and just recently it started to come into my head. Not that I fancied a cigarette, definitely didn't have fancy or a craving, nothing like that. It was just, I can't honestly tell you what it was. It was just that I just started to think to myself, I wonder if I could smoke again. Now, I didn't enjoy smoking when I last quit. You know, it's odd behaviour, but at the time, it's very subtle in your head. You know, it's not this voice that says, "Fucking hell, I'll have a cig. Let's do it." It's not like that. It crept up. Yeah, it crept up over, a couple of weeks, and until last weekend, Saturday, and it was on my mind a lot. And I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna have a cig. Now, don't get me wrong. Even when I said that to myself, I said, "All right, I'll have a cig." I knew it wasn't right, but my thinking behind it was, and there wasn't much thinking, I must admit, but it was kind of, it's going to sound really cocky, but it was like, well, you've quit drinking. When you get to that level of where I am now, quitting stuff's quite easy because you kind of know what you have to do and what you have to go through. If that's cocky, I apologise, but I think most of you will understand what I mean. It's a set process. You're doing all these things, so it's kind of whether I wanted to take the edge off, and the edge wasn't there. I wasn't stressed, as I say. There was no reason to do it. I just fancied it, and because it's probably the lesser of the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 evils of everything else that I could have done, then anyway. So I chose to. So I started last Saturday. At some point, house was empty. There was some fags. My missus fags laying around. So I can't remember what it was. So I picked one up and I had it, and obviously it did what it said on the tin. It kind of chilled me out. I got that little, I don't know if it's like, you get a lightheadedness or whatever, and it was really weird, and it was overwhelming, definitely overwhelming. But if I'm honest, it didn't feel too bad. So I kind of smoked a couple on that Saturday with the intention to probably not have any on the Sunday. And obviously that's when things start to go wrong slightly, but you're not really aware of that at the time within yourself. Got to Sunday, woke up again, and instead of having that feeling of I'm not going to bother, it was like, that was all right, but I kind of feel better today. So that's picked another cig up and ended up smoking all day Sunday. Obviously smoked a few more. I can't tell you how many. Now, I'm not talking on 20 fags a day, I don't daft, but I probably smoked about five cigarettes, 6 maybe on the Sunday. Again, and then at the end of it thinking, it's 2 days now, you don't really want to do any more, but I was feeling good. It filled, well, the reason I was feeling good is because it filled the hole, obviously, short term. And obviously Monday's a work day, so I bought a pack of 20 fags, went to work with them, and it was all very new to me because all of a sudden I'm having a cig when I wake up, jump out, shit shaving shower, downstairs, have a cig, get to work before I start, have a cig, and then it was like, 10 o'clock, break time's coming up. Now I've never taken breaks in my life because I just don't need them, and it was like a big thing. It was like, I'll go out for a cig, and then do the same at dinner and whatever, and then an afternoon break, and then get home. So I did it on Monday, still feeling good, but smoked a little bit more. Probably did about 10 on the Monday throughout the full day. And then the little bit of change in my head, it was like, maybe don't stop, maybe just carry on. You're not, it's not the end of the world. It's an odd thing. It's not something you want to do, but if it's making you feel a little bit better at the moment, just carry on. We can always quit later. So that was kind of a mentality upon starting on Tuesday or whatever. And then obviously the addiction side kicks in. And on the Tuesday and the Wednesday and Thursday and what have you, just started smoking more and more. I think on Wednesday morning, my alarm went off at 6:30. First thing I did was went up, stuck my shorts on, went downstairs, had a cig, come back up, shit shave and shower, back downstairs, had a cig, came back up to finish getting ready, had some breakfast, had another cig, drove to work, had a cig on the way to work. I'd done 4 cigs in the space of an hour and a half. Now, that's nasty. That's, once you get in that amount of nicotine in your system, it's horrible. I know there's no enjoyment with cigs anyway. I'm not bigging cigs up in any way, but it was horrible. You're in full smoking mode then. I think that was Wednesday. And that was the start when the negatives started to appear. And then I think Thursday, exactly the same. But Thursday morning, I'd made a deal with myself. Like, don't get up and have a cig. That's ridiculous. Have your first cig when you get to work. That was like Wednesday night when I went to bed. Thursday morning, exactly the same. Got up, went downstairs, had a cig. So I was getting a bit pissed off with that because the control bit has gone from you, which obviously I'd say probably 99.9% of people watching this have a bit of a control problem. I reckon, we have to be in control, and obviously we've had addictive behaviours, addictive tendencies. It's a struggle. So that's when I could see it. I could really feel the addiction part of it, and I hope this makes sense. When I used to smoke 15 years ago, when I was pissed on a weekend, I smoked 20. When I was at a working day, I'd probably do 10 or maybe less. And I knew when I didn't want to smoke, it was like, oh, fucking hell, I've only had one half an hour ago. I don't need one. And, I remember that clearly. I didn't smoke for the sake of smoking. I always smoked because I wanted one. But it was always a decent amount of period, a couple of hours or something between them. This time round, that's gone. It's just want. Now, the funny thing is, it's not the nicotine cravings. I know it's not. There'll be an element of that, I guess. But it's the black hole void thing, it's that filling that, or whatever we want to call it. And that's what's taken over the smoking in like 4 days. And I picked up on that quite quickly. Which brings us up to Friday today, where I did exactly the same routine this morning, being out. And I've probably, I think we're coming up for, it's 3:20 in the UK. And I've probably smoked I must have smoked about 8 or 9 cigs today since 6:30. As you can imagine, I've got that taste and smell, and it's just everything about it now is horrible. And another thing I just want to say quickly as well, because I think it's quite important. And now I'm not going to slag anyone down who smokes. I will never do that. Everyone's got their own issues, and you do whatever you need to do. In an ideal world, no one will smoke. But what I have been able to watch almost from the outside is the effects of smoking on me, from being a relatively having a healthy body, as it were, with no sort of negative toxins going into it, and what the smoking does. Never mind inhaling and going into your lungs. It actually makes you feel pretty shit in your body. I never realised that. I've had a few aches and pains, which I haven't had. I had a headache for a couple of days that went on off and on. So I had to take some paracetamol. I hadn't taken paracetamol for fucking 7 months. But yeah, little odd pains in your legs and tingly feelings, tightening of your chest, and a little bit of tingly, not good stuff. Nothing to really worry about as such, but stuff to be aware of, which I didn't like because I've not felt like that for a long time. So that was quite interesting to see kind of what it does, and it all helps me remember this to when it's time to quit. So I kind of made up my mind that I can't just quit. I can't just say that was my last fag, I'm not doing it just out of blue. I've never been able to do that. The Glenn way of doing everything is pick a time and a day, that's your line in the sand, aim towards it, and as soon as you get to it, that's when you do it. So that's what I have to do. I have to do everything the hard way, but I'm quite good at it now, and I'm pretty well. I stick to it. So that's where we're at now. I decided sort of Tuesday, sort of penciled it in my head Tuesday that Friday I have my last cig Friday night. And as the week's gone on and the smoking's got worse, heavier, I was kind of looking forward to that then. So like here we are now, as I say, mid-afternoon on the Friday, and I'm going to smoke for the rest of tonight. And then the plan is to, once I wake up in the morning, not to smoke tomorrow. Now, that probably will be quite difficult for many reasons, and I don't really think it's going to be difficult for the nicotine factor. There'll be an element of that, but it's all about, you know, sorry for repeating myself, but filling that little big black hole, the void. That's going to be at me because I'm going to feel like I'm missing out on something. So the reason I picked Friday night is because I'm down London tomorrow from a big football match with my team. And that basically means I'm not going to be around any smokers. I'm going to be in a car for going on 9 hours there and back. I'm going to be in a football stadium. There'll be nowhere to smoke, and I'm not going to buy any. So the plan is, my sticking point is first thing in the morning, because I'll be up early, and I just don't need to have a fag in the morning. Once I do that, once I get in my car and set off to where I'm going, then that's basically all day Saturday taken care of, because I'm just out. I'll be really excited. I'm buzzing about this football match. I don't think it's going to be a bad day for me. So that'll do all day Saturday. Obviously, I'll be in late. I'll probably be home about 10 p.m, maybe later. It'll be pretty much straight to bed. Wake up Sunday morning. I've done a day without it. It gets easier after that. Get through Sunday. If it's tricky, you know, I'll just fucking bite down hard and get through it. And then obviously Monday with the work, that takes your mind off of it and what have you. And another thing as well that became apparent, and I always remember when I did stop smoking, one of the things I used to say was, you've just got so much more time on your hands, because when you smoke or you're a smoker, everything's planned around a cig. You know, oh, I'll do that, but I'll just have this cig first, or let me just finish this fag and then I'll go do it for you. You know, when you don't smoke, you don't have any of that. All your time's your own. So that's been affecting me the last couple of days at work. You know, planning everything around a cig, which is just nuts. So I'm ready. What I want to be able to say in my next video in 4 or 5 weeks' time is that, been there, done that, ticked a box, killed it, smoking's dead now, and add it with a pile of other stuff. But I don't want to be cocky, because I know how these things work. But that's the plan, and I'm quite up for that as well. Because, as I say, because I've lost the weight as well and I'm feeling healthy, I absolutely think, this is going to sound so bloody vain, but I actually, because I've got that bit of weight off and I'm not bloated anymore, and I just think I look good, and people are commenting me. I sound so vain, I do apologise, but just, you know, the skin and everything's nice and bright and how it should be, and I want to keep that, because I that's the feeling I love. So I think that's where we're at. I hope I put that into words that it makes sense, because from the outside looking in, when someone does something, as I posted, I started smoking, you know, I posted the wrong thing. I was kind of wanting people to understand, and the way I worded it, you know, I got the reaction I deserved, shall we say, and I stupidly reacted to that reaction from others, and it was nobody else's fault by mine, so I apologise for that. In hindsight, looking back, it was a ridiculous post to make. You know, I should have been really truthful and honest. I'm always going to put myself out there no matter what, because I kind of get off on it a little bit. I've always done that. I've got videos galore of all this shit, you know. I like putting myself out there because it works for me. I become accountable to everyone, but that time it didn't work for me, and I understand, and I was blaming everyone but myself the other night, whenever it was. So, as again, I apologise for that. Yeah, I just worded it wrong, and I wouldn't do that again. So I'll wrap this up, because you must be boring and shitless, but all in all, just another absolutely awesome month. Things are great. Things are really great. And I think I'll leave it at that. Every time I finish a video, I always think, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, but actually, I'm only going because I'm dying for a fag. Sorry. That was a joke. So I'll wrap that up. Thanks for everyone for watching, and a massive shout out to you all for your support recently. Because I took my bat and ball home and threw the baby out of the pram, I got loads of lovely kind words, and it made me feel great, but it mainly I actually felt like a dick for being a dick on the group. So I apologise. I used to be a dick on groups fucking every 2 weeks, and you know, I thought I'd controlled that. So apologies if I upset anyone or whatever with silly words, but again, just thank you all for your support, and long may it continue, because it's we're here for each other. That's the main thing, no matter what's and all. So thanks again for watching. See you later. Bye.